this meeting. And a special thanks to Dr. Satyanarayan sir for giving us such a nice opportunity. So I am Rekha, a PhD student in Department of Mathematics in Shiv Nadar University, and I am going to. So today, me and my fellow mate are going to discuss about mathematical software, SageMath. Okay. So it's a free open source software alternative to Maple, Magma, and MATLAB. So hopefully all of you find it to be very interesting and as well as useful in your research, study, and your teaching. Okay. So let's start with the basic introduction of SageMath, that when and who started this, and what are the advantages of it over the other mathematical software. Is my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you about the origin of SageMath. So the originator and the leader of the SageMath project is William Stein. Right? Was a mathematician at the University of Washington, and its first version of SageMath was released on 24th Feb 2005 as free open source software under the terms of JNL, the General Public License, and its current version was released in January 2020, that is version 9.0. Okay. And so what is SageMath? So SageMath is a computer algebra system, and it stands for System for Algebra and the Geometry Experimentation. And SageMath is built upon nearly 100 open source packages, and it includes a huge range of mathematics, including basic algebra, number theory, numerical mathematics, combinatorics, and calculus. Right? And it will give us the access to the many open sources like NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, right? And it gave us the combined platform to access them all. Right. So since we know there are lot of software are there in the industry, so the question arises, why do we use Sage then? What's special about Sage? Right. So there are a lot of reason for using it. So the first reason I want to tell you is it's free of cost. Means there are many software in the industry, but it was like impossible for a student to get a access of them, and but Sage is actually free of cost, right? And the second, it's platform independent, so you can use it on your browser and also on your mobile phone, right? And third, it's actually give us the combined access to lot of libraries like SciPy, NumPy, Matplotlib, and etc. And the fourth important reason is using SageMath is Python. Since most of the people are familiar with Python and they find it to be user friendly, and the SageMath uses it to implement most of the functionalities. Right. And since I said the SageMath was built of about 100 open source packages, and here are the I have given some of them, so you can access them all by using SageMath. Right, like algebra, we can gap and the singular and the flint, and algebraic geometry singular. So there are many more. Okay, so I just give some of them here. And here is our agenda. So I am listed all the areas which we are going to cover in this workshop. So on day one, we just tell you how to interact with SageMath and to explore the SageMath website and some basic mathematical operation using SageMath. And then after that, 2D and 3D plotting. And on the second day, that is 13 June, we are going to discuss about the linear algebra and group theory. And the day third, we are going to discuss the ring theory and the field theory and the number theory concept by using SageMath. And the last, that is 27 June, we are going to discuss about the graph theory and the cryptography. So now I want to now my friend Vipin Kumar want to say something, want to tell you about how to explore the SageMath website. So Vipin, please continue. Just give me a minute so that I can open the. So Vipin. So guys, please just type SageMath online on your browser, and you will get a link about that as www.sagemath.org. You can go over it and click here. Then it will then you will get at the home page of SageMath. Okay. So I request you everyone, please follow the step and please open the SageMath on your browser so that we can I can tell you the step side by side.
So is it all of you came here? Can you raise your hand? There is an option raise hand. So if you enter into this particular website, please raise your hand so that we can move forward. Yeah. If anybody facing difficulty, we can also help them to do something, right? Yeah.
And Sohit,
Yeah.
are you Sohit?
Yes,
Please
yes.
help me in between. So if because I'm not able to look at that page.
Right.
So,
We'll do that. Don't worry. Yeah. Please go ahead.
okay.
Yeah. Now most of them are raised hands, so we can move forward.
Okay. Okay. So this is the home page of SageMath. So you will get the lot of options are here: home, tour, help, library, download, and the development and link. Right. So since we can use Sage online as well as we can download it as well, right? So but and here are given the download link, so you can download it on your window if you're using window and the Mac and the Linux, right? So there are complete guidelines are given there. So if you want to download it, then you can go there and download it. Okay, but if you don't want to download it, then it's good news, you can work over it online as well. Okay, so and here are libraries given here. So if you go over here, just a minute. So you will get all the material, reading material here about the SageMath actually, right? You will get the books about it, and you will get the YouTube videos and everything. And also there is a help option was also there. You can go to the tutorial option. You will get all the subject tutorial here. Okay, so and if you come below here, so there is one option was there, that is SageMath Cell, right? If you want to do suppose 1 or 2 calculation, then you can go over here, SageMath Cell, right? So it is it is look like that in this, and you have to type your code here. Okay, suppose I want to add two numbers in 45 plus 23, and just click evaluate, and you will get your output below there. Okay, here is the output, right? So you can actually I will not recommend to use a SageMath Cell if you want to create some project, because if you want to do this say 1 or 2 calculation, then you can use the SageMath Cell, right? Because it's not going to save your work, right? But if you want to create some project and you want to, then it's better to go there, that you will go here, that online CoCal. So just click here. Okay, so
yeah, I think all of them are clicked. It is easy. So can you raise hand again one more time? Are you clicked it?
It's in the top on top of the right side. So you will get the CoCal button and just press it. I can show you again. So if someone is not followed, then please do it again with me.
I think they done it. Everyone done it.
Okay. So here on the top of right side, here is the CoCal button. Just press it. Then you will arrive at that page. Okay. So if someone is facing difficulty, then please let me know, so that I will wait for him or her.
Yeah, you can lower your hand.
I will suggest you please do it side by side, just the initial steps. After that, you have to explore your site by your own, and you will get to know the thing as you start working over it, right? But just the initial stage, just follow the step, then it will be good for you. Okay, then there is a button on the top right, that is sign in. You can just click. Everybody, please click here, sign in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and if you already log in, you have login and password, then you can enter here your email ID and the password, then you can sign in, right? But since most of the people are new to CoCal and SageMath, so for the first time, I'm just skipping this step. So I'm just clicking here. So you click here, I agree to the term of services, and just run CoCal now and sign up later. So if you have email ID and password, then you can enter here email ID and password and then sign in. And if you don't have your email ID and password, then you can sign up here. You can run CoCal without sign up. And I will.
Yeah, we will wait for 1 minute here. Yeah, please go ahead and do it.
Oh.
So now it is 12:15. So we'll resume at 12:16. So
Okay. Okay, sir.
yeah, now you can start actually.
Okay. So please click here, I agree to the term of services, and just click here, run CoCal now and sign up later. Right. So we will arrive at this page, and I want to create my file and my project. So just click over this plus button, plus or create or upload files, and just click here, everybody. Then here you need to type your file name. So I am typing, suppose SageMath as my file name, and it will ask you whether you want to work on Jupyter Notebook or Linux Terminal or the Sage Worksheet. Actually, there are a lot of possibilities are given there. So since most of the people are comfortable with Sage Worksheet or the Jupyter Notebook, so you can use anything in which you feel comfortable. Okay, so but I am using Jupyter Notebook, so for now I'm just clicking here the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so just write your file name and select Jupyter Notebook.
So all of you, please do it. So once you completed it, please raise your hand, please, here. Yeah, you can click it and go. Yeah. So you all of you are reached here. So if you reach here, so please raise your hand, please. So Vipin, you want to say a few things here?
Yes, sir. So here you can see that if you opt the Sage worksheet, Jupyter notebook, then there are so many options are available for the kernels. So these kernels suggest you that which type of programming language do you want to use inside your Jupyter notebook. So actually, Jupyter notebook is nothing but an interactive notebook session. So where each cell is actually compiled with the specific chosen programming languages. So you can see here so many languages kernels are available like Julia, Python, R, and Sage Math worksheet. Because we are here to work with the Sage Math programming languages, so we will go with the Sage Math version 9.3. So many functionalities actually are available here in the Jupyter notebook, but means slowly we will learn all those things. So
Yeah, okay, good. So now you are asking us them to click Sage Math
yes,
9.2 or
yes,
9.2 or 9.1?
9.3. It is the
9.3.
latest version,
Oh,
so just opt it.
right, 9.3. Okay. Yeah, you can lower your hand. So later we'll again ask you. So I hope all of you clicked Sage Math 9.3, right? Okay. So you are all reached here. Yes.
I hope you guys are with me. And if you are not, someone is not following, then please let me know at this stage only.
Yeah, you can unmute and let us know, right? This is the place we everyone wants to be. If everyone is here, we are succeeded actually. Initial target is done. So if anyone still facing problem, let us know. I think everyone is fine. Yeah, you can go ahead now.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Suppose you want to create some your project or your file, so obviously you want to give some heading to your project, right? So there is an option there. If you click here code, then you will get the three option below: code, markdown, and row, right? So if you want to write some code and run it, then you have to select the code button. And if you want to give some heading, then just click here and click on the markdown button right here, and click over here on this cell and just type hash and then space. Space is important and please don't skip it.
So one thing I want to say. So you all people do along with Rekha. First point. Second point is that Rekha, can you increase the font?
Yes, sure, sir.
Our
It's
little
fine.
bit. Yeah, fine. This is fine. So now again you can tell the code markdown where it came, right?
Okay, okay, sir. Actually, here is the option. Here are the files, edit, view, insert, and the cell kernel are given. And on this row, there is option comes here markdown or code. So if you click here, then you will get the three option below: code, markdown, and row. So if you want to give some heading, then you have to click to the markdown button. And if you want to write some code, then you have to click to the code button. But since I am want to give some heading, so I'm selecting the markdown button here. Right. And after that, just type hash and then space. Okay. And now just type your heading, whatever the heading you want to give to your project. So I'm writing just Sage Math as advanced calculator. Okay. And after that, to run your command, you have to press shift enter, shift along with enter.
Yeah, shift enter is you need to remember throughout. Shift enter. So is it every one of you done this part? Yeah, please raise your hand. So
And
we'll
actually,
sorry.
if you
We'll
run it,
ask.
then you look like highlighted.
Yeah. So we'll asking very frequently now, but later we will not ask. Okay. Sorry for interrupting you so many times. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So all of them are done it. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, right. And if you want to give some subheading, then you can use double hash or triple hash. Actually, the number of hashes are inversely proportional to the size of the font. Okay, how many hashes you are use, the size will keep on decreasing. Okay, so I'm using suppose triple hash, and after that space, and this type your subheading. So suppose I'm writing basic math operations, and then shift along with enter. Sorry. Just guys, please give me 1 minute. Click here and then shift enter. I think there is some
Rekha, select
issue.
Markdown. It's
Oh,
code.
sorry. Thank you, Kathy. Right. Right, guys. If you want to give some heading, then you have to select Markdown, and if you want to write code, then you have to select code. So it was my mistake. So you guys please be careful about it. So are you guys comfortable with it?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm just start writing some of the codes. Okay, so suppose you want to add or subtract two numbers, then these are just actually how you write in your notebook. So the Sage is very user friendly. So suppose I want to multiply two numbers, then 12 asterisk and 3, and then shift enter. Right, so it will give multiply 12 and 3 and give the output below. Here is your get the output, right? And the similarly, if you want to add two number, then first number plus second number. If you want to subtract two number, sorry, 123 minus 34, shift enter, then you will get the output below. Right. So these are the very basic operation, and Sage is very user friendly, and you have to do in a similar way how you guys do in your simply your notebook. Right. And there is actually suppose you want to calculate exponent, right? So actually there are two options available in Sage. Either you use the caret symbol for it for calculating the power or the exponent, or the double asterisk, right? Because if you guys are familiar with Python, then you can see there is only one option available there, that is double star. So it's a beauty of says that it will be that much user friendly, and you can calculate the exponent by using both the operation. Like suppose I want to calculate 2 raised to power 5, then just type 2 caret symbol, and after that 5, and then shift enter. Okay, then it will give you the output below here, that is 32, and you can use the double asterisk for it as well, and then 5, and it will give you the same output as above. But in Python, it will, if you use caret symbol, then it will give you the error. So actually Sage Math is uses Python, but it's bit more than Python. There is there are they added some more functionalities to Sage Math. Okay, and so, and there are some suppose you want to calculate the remainder and the quotient, then for calculating the quotient, so 10 double slash and then 3. So it will give you the, it will return actually the quotient. Right, and 10 percentage 3. Right, so it's very familiar. Even if anyone is familiar with Python, and in mathematics we call it 10 modulo 3. So it will give you the remainder. So it you can read it as 10 modulo 3 if you are from mathematics background, right? And you can shift enter. Right. So these are some basic operations, right? But
1 minute. So, Vipin, do you want to tell about something about cells here?
Sorry, sir, about?
Cell. Everything is operated on cells. What is cell and what is advantage of something about that?
Okay. So here you guys can see that in each cell there is one command. So you can add multiple command there, and each cell is executed at once. So when you press the shift enter, but also side by side in the rightmost in the cell, you can see that how much time it is taking, 0.008 seconds. So like that you can observe that what is the running time of each cell. And also because it is because you know that Sage Math is compatible with the Python languages also. So if you want to build up a function, or if you want to give so many instructions in one cell, then it is executed at once and gives you resultant output. And moreover, you can add cell in between also. If you want to add a cell in above than cell 9 number, then you can add also that by pressing the command only A from the keyboard. And if you want to add the below any cell, then you can press it plus with B.
So let them practice now this part, how to add a cell above.
Yes.
actually, one more option is there. If you scroll your cursor like here, then you will get the blue line like this. Right. If you click over it, then you will then you immediately get a cell here.
Rekha, can you scroll a little bit?
Actually, it's yes. Maybe I'm adding more cells so that my content will in the mid of the screen. Okay. Now it's fine, Kathy?
Yes.
So either use simply A. If you press simply A, sorry, no, not here.
Ma'am?
Yes.
How we can add a cell in between two cells? Can you show it again, please?
Actually, one of the basic thing, like one cell is here, say cell 7, and here is the cell 8. We want to add a cell in between 7 and 8. Just scroll your cursor in between these two cells. Then you will get a blue line. Just simply press this line. Just click over it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I double clicked it, so it created the two cell in between. Okay, so if you want to create cell above, then you can just scroll above the cell and you will get the blue line and just click over it. And if you want to create a cell below, then follow the same steps below.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
You
can call me Rekha. You can call me Rekha.
Sure. Could you scroll it down a bit, please?
Yeah, sure.
The cell number 9.
Right.
We've actually given 3 different operations over there, but then the resultant is of the last one.
Right. And you can actually you can take it as an advantage or maybe at the disadvantage of Sage Math, that if you write the multiple command in the Jupyter notebook, then you will get the output of the last input, right? But but if you use Sage worksheet, then you will get the output of all 3 lines, right? So for this to outcome from this difficulty, we use a print function actually. So simply we write, there is a function print. So actually, first of all, I want to introduce the function. So function is like how there was in mathematics. We write the function name and yes, sir.
Before that, can you try that 3 plus 4, comma 4 plus 5, comma 5 4 minus 6?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can try this thing.
Yes, if you separate the commands by comma, then it will gives you output of all commands there in one cell.
Right. Then we will actually get the tuple.
Yeah, in tuple form.
So just write all your operation just separated by comma and then press shift enter. Then you will get the output in form of tuple, where first entry was was the outcome of the first operation, and here is the second for the second, and third is for third. Okay. And if you want to write your output in separate line, then you have to use the function for it. So are you guys with me? Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Even if you put comma and write it in separate lines, it does not give you back a tuple, right?
What you are saying, you should press enter here. That you are
Yeah,
saying.
3 plus 4, comma, in the next line 4 star 5, comma, in the next line 4 minus 6, it's not going to give you a tuple, right?
Okay, let's try it out. Actually, I'm also not very much experienced in it. So let's try it out.
Actually, hello.
Yeah. Yes?
Yeah, it would give an error.
No, actually, it will give you an error.
Doesn't... Okay, so it doesn't give you an error in CoCalc, but it does.
Actually, there
So, yeah,
there
again
are
in the same.
there is a little bit functionality difference between Python and the SageMath. So it actually SageMath is much user friendly. So you will get the output of the last line only here.
Yes, thank you.
Right. And so
but it is doing the same thing, so you will not get all the answer of executed lines.
Right, Vipin. Right. So now I want to introduce a function, and after that I will tell you how to get the output of all these commands. Okay, so function, just write the function name. So I'm just writing the comment here. Okay, for comment you have to just write type hash. So if you type hash, then Sage will treat it your line as a comment line. It will not treat it as a code. So I'm just writing hash, and then for functions just write your function name, and after that round bracket. Right. And in between the round bracket, just provide the variable or your argument. It may be a function of one variable and function of two variable. So it depending on the different actually function as well. Okay. So the format of function was like this: function name and then round bracket. Right. So there is a function called name as print. So if you use print, so print is a function which actually allow us to write the text as well as the code, right? So if we want to write, we want the output of each and every line, then I'm using here the print function, that is just write print, everything in a small letter, and enclose it in a round bracket. And I'm just removing it, the comma, and here also just write print round bracket. And if you want to write the print in the last line, it is good, but if you don't want to write the print function, then it will automatically executed, actually automatically printed by the Jupyter Notebook. Right now, if you run it, then you will get the output of each cell. Sorry, each line. So just write Shift Enter. Just press Shift Enter, then you will get the output of it. Right. Like, okay, and there are in Sage, there are a lot of inbuilt function in Python, but since I already said the Sage is bit more than Python, so there are some function was there which was not inbuilt in Python, but you can get the function inbuilt function in SageMath. Right. Suppose you want to you are interested to calculate factorial of a number. Right. So if you write something a fact or something something like this, then you will don't get you will get the error in Python, but in SageMath there is a sorry. So you just have to write factorial and then round bracket and just type the number for which you are want the factorial. Suppose I want the factorial of 10. So I'm just writing 10 in between. 10 is my argument, and then Shift Enter. But if you want to calculate the factorial in Python, then you have to at least need to write 4 or 5 line code for it. But it's a beauty of SageMath, then you can able to do it in a single line. Okay. So are you guys following it? Sorry.
Yes. So here, any questions here? So I want to add one thing here. Factorial is one function. So suppose we want to do something using SageMath, we want to find out something, but we are not aware about the commands that what are the commands that we have to give to calculate some particular thing. So in this, SageMath is also helping us. There are inbuilt help by using Sage only. So here I am telling few things. For example, let's say we want to calculate something related to prime numbers. So what we have to do, Rekha, can you please type prime here?
Yes, Khyati, please tell me. I will print. Sorry, I will type it.
Can you please type prime here?
Right.
All of you also try, other participants also. Yeah.
Yeah. So now to know that which operations I can perform in Sage regarding prime numbers. So here press tab key in your keyboard. Rekha, can you please press tab? Yes. So here you can see a few options related to prime numbers, prime divisors, prime factors, prime pi, prime powers. So let's say I am choosing the first one, prime divisors. Can you please choose Rekha?
Wait.
Yes.
Not like that. So I request that those names start with A. For example, Anirban, Arjit, and Arup. So these people, can you try first prime divisors? Can you show again all the functions?
Yes, I'm showing it once again.
Yeah. So other people, so those start with B and D, so they can do something else. Okay, like that. So can you show?
Yes, please write prime, and after that press tab.
Okay.
In your keyboard.
Yeah.
Tab key in your keyboard.
Yeah. So now, so prime factors, prime divisors first. Those starting with A, prime factors B and D letters. So prime pi up to H. Okay. So prime powers maybe up to R. R and S people, those names start with R and S. Can you try prime range like that? So remaining people try others. So we'll ask you one of you later. Okay. So prime divisors, in the argument you have to give some number, right? Give it and check it. So we will ask you. So what is the difficulties you are facing or whatever. Okay, you choose one thing. So prime powers you can choose. Rekha.
Yeah, Rekha, please choose this prime powers. So now at this stage also, if we are not aware that how to run this command properly, so SageMath can again help us. Just put a question mark after this function and run it. Shift plus enter.
Just Kathy, just give me 1 minute. I'm just
It's
doing
okay.
it.
Rekha, take your time. It's okay.
So prime powers question mark press enter. So like that other people whatever you type press enter, question mark press enter.
So question mark plus shift enter, yes.
Shift enter, yes.
Rekha, can you scroll a bit?
Yes, Kathy, I'm doing.
So this is the output, means you can read this one. So this will tell you that how means which argument we actually need to run this command properly. So there are some examples. Like this first one is prime underscore powers and this argument is 20. So can someone tell me that what is this output?
No one? No one is responding.
Sir, actually now it's not visible. So Rekha, can you please?
Yes, Kathy, I'm doing.
Oh, now it's fine.
What is happening? So you are shift enter nahi kiya? Okay, yeah, okay. Guess some guess, okay. Mistakes hone do, no problem. No one.
Is it all the prime numbers till 20?
Yes. But is it 9 is there or not?
Oh wait, sorry. It is the those are all the powers of all the prime numbers from 1 to 20.
Good.
Yes.
Yes,
So
actually,
like,
it's sorry. Yes, Kathy, please continue.
Yes, Rekha, you can also tell them.
No, Kathy, please continue.
I'm saying that you can try other functions also, and you can check that what is the output here. So it's an inbuilt help. So you can perform many functions like this with the help. So can someone tell us some function?
Yeah, that's what. So Arijit, Anirban, and Arup and Team Singh, some Sasmal. So one of you can tell one function. And what is that we need to type?
Actually, not the function. If you want to know whether there is a function related to some concept which you are using in your mathematics, and you want to know whether it exists in Sage Maths or not, then we can actually type it and look for it.
That's okay. First, let us prime wala. So we given some work to first two people, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Anirban, go ahead.
Yes. So for prime divisors, we have to type prime underscore divisors. Then within bracket, a number, natural number.
Okay.
And then the output will be all prime divisors of that number.
Okay. For example, what is prime divisors of 100? If I type 100, what I'll get?
I'll get 2 and 5.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now Bharat and Devanshi, these people, other people, Deva, Divya Devi. So you people, can you say something? Deepti Shinde. Yeah, Bharat, yeah, please go ahead.
So we can operate other command. We can type prime range.
Prime range. Okay. Prime range.
Prime range. Okay. Prime range.
So yeah, tell me prime range. How? What is this? What is this? No.
So prime range is basically if we type prime range for 20, so it will give a number of primes up to 20.
Okay. Yeah. So now others. So G to here. G, Gaurav. Other people. Are you tried something? Gaurav, Imran, Joel. Joel, can you say something? Joel.
Yes, sir. I tried prime pi.
Okay, prime pi. Okay, what is it will give prime pi?
We'll give a number and it will output the number of primes less than that number.
Number of primes less than that number. Okay, so can I type, for example, prime pi of 100? What we can expect?
I'm not sure. I'm not actually don't know the number, but I think 25 or something. 24, 25.
25, correct. What is that? So number of primes up to 100. How many primes are there? Yeah, shift enter. Okay, good. So I hope you understand how to do. Okay, Kathy, thanks, Kathy. So continue, Rekha.
Okay, sir. Yes. Thank you, Kathy. Anyways, so I am just now just writing some command, and please I will actually they are very familiar in mathematics, so you have to guess the output. Okay, so suppose I'm here is my variable n, and its value is -2, 3, 4, 5, and I am interested to know, suppose a equals to n dot abs, and I want to know what is my a. So can anyone tell what is the value of a and what is this function abs will stands for? You can try it on your actually browser. It will be good for you and you will get a little bit practice of it.
So those who completed, they can tell immediately, no problem.
Absolute value.
Okay, absolute value. Okay, thanks. Let us
Right.
check.
Actually, I'm running it. Just wait for a minute. Okay.
In the meantime, you can type another command maybe. Yeah, it came.
Okay, sir. And I'm writing and not deserts. What will be the output of this? I'm writing some comments, and if you know a little bit, if you have idea a little bit about it, then you can speak up in between.
So what is the answer for this? A dot digits. What is the answer?
Sir, I'm guessing number of digits of A.
So what is the answer? The final answer, you know already.
4, sir.
4, okay. So A dot divisors you already clear about. See, not only prime dot divisors, A dot divisors is we are giving A dot divisors directly.
Right, sir. Okay, but digits, it will actually give us the list of digit in our letter. Okay, so.
Oh, okay. I just guessed.
Right. So actually, it will extract the last number and append it to the list. And after that, the next one add to the list, and after that, the next one add to the list. So it will actually give the list of all the digits. And so, and thank you for and keep on trying. So because you are new, so we'll get to it soon.
Okay, Rekha.
Yes.
If I want to know the number of digits, like here, it is giving us the list of digits. But if I want to know the number, like
Number of digits. Okay. So suppose one option is you can actually it will this function a dot digit actually give the list of digits. Okay. So one way is you can save it in some suppose I am saving it in a variable b, and now I will calculate the length of this list. So for the length function, I will use len and then b. So length of b. So now it will, so for this, I'm using two functions. First, for calculating the separate digits, and another is the length function, which will give us the number of digit. Okay, and then shift enter.
So can we give some?
So
can
it will give.
Can we give 1 minute to them that without using two commands, can you do with one command?
Okay,
so let them explore whether you can use Google or anything. So let us see whether is it possible to find a number of digits with only one command.
So I think I have an idea.
Okay.
We can convert it into a string and find its length.
But again, you are using the string you are using.
And that is the same thing Rekha did actually. B is assigned as a string of digits.
No, actually, sorry, Vinay, sorry, B is actually the list of digits.
Yes, list of digits. So
and after that, I will calculate the length of that list.
or you can try a dot n digits. A dot n digits.
A dot n digits.
And then bracket.
and one more thing actually, this website is taking time due to the poor internet connection. And if you are using a strong connection, then I think it will not take too much time to show outputs.
So are you guys following? And you can try out these two commands as well. I have written below. And if you get the answer that what these functions stands for, then please tell everyone.
Excuse me?
Yes.
So A dot is prime returns a returns whether the given whether A is prime or no.
What is output? True or false?
Yeah, true or false. So over here it is one. It is 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a false because it has other divisors as well.
Okay.
Right. So it will return false actually. So it's written actually the Boolean value true or false. So if the number is prime, then it will return true, and if your number is not prime, then it will return false. And one of the interesting function which I really like about about primes. So a dot sorry. Can anyone guess about it?
The prime number next to A is this, closest to A.
Right. It will actually give us the prime number which was come first after A.
So can you try A dot 10? So that will be easy. A dot 10 dot next prime 10 dot.
Right, sir. I'm just doing it. So one way to writing the function is this, and another way, just write the function name. So I'm just writing this function only. Next prime, and in a round bracket, just give your argument. So I'm typing 10 here. And then shift enter. Okay, since 11 is the prime number and which is comes after 10, so its output is 11. So if you guys won't have any confusion, then you can ask. Otherwise, I will.
Otherwise, sorry to interrupt, Rekha. You can tell some other function except these function you want to calculate in Sage. Some number theoretic function.
You can suggest Khyati.
Like Euler phi function.
Okay.
So someone can try and tell us that what is the command for that.
Okay, so if you want to know, then as Khyati suggested, you can press tab here, then you will get all the command related to it, right? So here is Euler phi, so I'm just clicking it. And if you know how much argument are needed for this function, then it's okay, then you can type it directly. And if you know, then just write question mark and then enter, shift enter. Right, so
Vipin, I request you to ready with that Sage Math pay all those, for example, number theory, where I can find out more about number theory. So
yes.
Be ready with that. Okay. In a while we will discuss that. For example, differential equations or whatever, how can I check? So you guide Rekha for that.
Okay.
Okay, so you can, since we have seen an example that we need one argument for it, so just I'm typing here and then shift enter, right? And then you will get the output of it, right? And there are a lot of more functionalities are also there. We can solve the quadratic equation by using Sage. We can solve the system of linear equation by using Sage. So
yeah, so instead of now we can tell them that where they can practice these things, right? So Vipin, can you suggest now?
Yes, sir. So Rekha, actually, guys, this is the Sage IPYNE extension, Jupyter Notebook. So this is Jupyter Notebook where we were working, but let's move to the Sage worksheet. Although here we are also working with the same language, Sage Math 9.3, and Sage worksheet also runs in that programming languages. So Rekha, can you just add new files? Just click it.
yes,
New.
I'm doing it. Okay, so just click here on the new button, then just create another file. So I'm just
here now we were working with the Sage worksheet. So just give some name. Yes.
And since Vipin want to continue with the Sage worksheet, so we can click over here, the Sage worksheet, right? Till now we are working in the Jupyter notebook. So now we are opening the file in the Sage worksheet. So click here, just write your file name and then click Sage worksheet.
Yeah, Rekha, you press it here. So here now you can see in the tabs, there are two open tabs. One is sagemath.ipynb. So this is your Jupyter notebook where we were working. And this is the .sage WS. So this is the extension for the Sage worksheet. So here again you need to type the commands and you will work it out all those actions that you did in Jupyter notebook. Every command is same, nothing will change up here. But what the major difference was with the Sage Jupyter notebook with the Sage worksheet was that Jupyter notebook is interactive notebook, so you can decorate there. So Jupyter notebook makes you available HTML and Markdown like programming languages that are only used for the decorative purposes, and as well as other programming languages. But Sage worksheet just it only provides you working with the Sage programming language, Sage math programming languages. So here you can see so many options are available here, like files, helps, and modes. So you just Rekha press help. So here,
Okay.
so show them that what are the types of helps available there. So it will gives you overview, tutorial, reference, and keyboard shortcuts and all those things. So how the Sage work, how the Sage commands are available in Cocal. So all those things are available here. So first I request you all of you to open 3 commands in 3 tabs in your browser, like overview, tutorial, and reference.
So better go for one at a time. So can we go to reference?
Yes.
Reference you can take. Yeah, reference.
Yes, this is the Sage reference manual. So here you can see that so many contents are available. It deals with the graphics, mathematics. Means first it will show you how to interface, how is its interface, and what are the graphics available. And so in the mathematics area, so basic rings, fields, linear algebra, all major subjects are available. And if you click any one of them, you will reach out to the manuals that particular subject, and so many commands and examples are available. So Rekha, I request you to please click on the linear algebra.
Right.
Okay. Here.
Linear algebra. Linear algebra.
Table of contents.
So Vipin, so if you work in Sage Math worksheet, it will more advantage, right? Directly you can go here.
Yes. So accessibility is more here rather than
In the
yeah. So if you are very much familiar with the Sage Math commands, then better to work with the Jupyter notebook. If you are new to that, so you can use Sage Math worksheet also. Not so much different, but yeah.
So linear algebra, so matrices and
yes, here so many options again are available. Table of contents, that how linear algebra has been implemented, and what are the different commands. So you just open up any one of very basic things like
okay, I'm opening matrix spaces.
Yes, matrix spaces. So here some examples are available, and this is the in light yellow color box. It will shows you what are those commands, and the command that you need to type is the Sage column, and whatever the things written later on. So you need to remove the Sage dot. So it is just for your understanding purposes that it is written here. So like in a first line, you can see that MS is equal to matrix space QQ and 6 sparse is equal to true. So you can see here that four arguments is passed to the this command, that is matrix space. And
function.
yes, this is function, you can see. So So first argument tells that where do you want to where do you want to define your matrix space. So QQ, this is the way actually fields is written in this space. If you are working with the real field, then you need to type RR, and if you are working with the rational numbers, then you need to QQ. And 6 is telling you that what is the order of matrices you are willing to work with that. And this is pass is equal to 2, so is pass is pass matrices is equal to you. So if you don't want to use this command, so this is totally optional. Third argument, you can remove it. So now if you show that what is this command is assigned to the variable ms, so you just type it to the ms and it will gives you what is the description is available to that command, right? So now Rekha, so guys, if you have any problem with understanding like these things, so you can navigate it and you can type your command in your working set, so all things will be clear.
Yeah, okay, fine. It is good. So these commands we can copy and paste in Jupyter also, right, Vipin?
Yes, in Jupyter also, yes. Jupyter
Right.
it works. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
So Rekha, now just open it and show one command and copy these things little bit there and go again back whatever you want. You are willing.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
not only helps are available here for mathematics. It also includes cryptography, graph theory, so many other things. It also does.
Yeah, so only we opened references only, reference manual, right?
Yes, reference manual.
Even there are tutorials are there, many other things also available. So it is very, very user friendly and all items are available with you. Other than this, so can you, Suhit, can you tell about some other help to somebody want to get?
Yes, sir. So one more help that is available is if anyone gets stuck, you can just type in Google whatever you want to and just write SageMath. And there are many consoles which actually are based on question answer type. So most of the questions will already be there and the answers will be available. You can read that and understand it. If not, you can also paste your question there and get your answers. It's like Stack Exchange for mathematics, which is available. There's a Stack Exchange for SageMath, and also there is a R SageMath, which is only for SageMath. So these are the other help options that are available over internet.
Okay, so we'll give small break now, little bit. So if you have any questions, first let us know before other speakers start, so that Rekha can explain further. Otherwise, so other speaker will join now. So you have any other questions you want to ask, please?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Like, what is a worksheet?
Worksheet where a sheet where you work, and this is type of a file, nothing else. Means do you have file of the extension .pdf, so it is what? It is a file of the type PDF, right? So IPYNB is nothing but it is the type of file. So that is Jupyter Notebook. And the same way Sage Worksheet is an file type that is compatible with the Sage Mathematics, Sage Math language.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I have a doubt. Hello?
Your voice is not clear.
Yeah, please.
How to delete the extra cell? I mistakenly add a cell. I want to delete. How to delete it?
Okay.
Actually, you will get that scissor option there on the bar which is given in the top.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay.
Actually, I clicked here. So suppose I want to click which cell you want to delete it, just click over that cell. So I suppose I want to delete that cell, and after that just press it, cut selected. So it automatically actually cut that cell.
Okay, thank you. I have another doubt.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, within the bracket, we specified some number. We get the result less than that number. How to include that number also?
Okay, actually, actually it's not about. Actually, it's depend on a function. Suppose in this particular function, we need one argument, so we are given one argument, so it will return us the next prime. So it actually depend on a argument what you given actually.
For example, it's a prime power.
Okay.
Prime power. I give the number 4. I get the result 213.
Okay. For that, either we have to increase our argument number, which you provide in the argument. Suppose you want to include, suppose 20 is not a prime, so it will obviously not going to be included. So suppose if you want a more number, then either you have to increase that number, and but as per this function, it's specified to actually it's already specified that you have to give the all the prime and the prime power which are less than 20. So if you want to include the 20, so either you have to write the proper program for it, or either just increase the value. So if you want to include some more, then suppose I would write 27, then you will get some more. But it actually depends on a function. It's not separately. It's vary from function to function actually.
Yeah.
No,
So
Shivangi, do you want to include 21 also, 20 also in the given command?
Yeah. See, for that, see, in here what happens is that the function behaves like that. For example, can you type range of 10, Rekha?
Yes, sir.
Range of 10. RANGE, range of 10. Yeah. So do not enter, shift enter.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Yeah. You entered. Okay. No problem. So so somebody can check it. So you write 2 in range of 10. So you try it. 2 in range of 10. Anyhow, it is not given anything. That's a good thing. So now can you type that 2 in range of 10?
It says true, sir.
It says true. Okay. In range 10. So it is giving false, right? So you want to include n also, then you have to write n plus 1. Yes. So Python programmers know about it. Okay, so I want to write a program and I want to write up to n, then I take range of n plus 1. Okay, but if I want to count from 1 to n plus 1 only, n only, then I will write range of 1 comma n plus 1. Okay, it depends on, so you already familiar with it, we will use accordingly. Is it okay whoever asked now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so right. So it is inbuilt like that. So it is the function program is built like that. Yeah. So Anirban, you want to ask something? Please go ahead.
Yes. How do we define a function? If I want a new thing.
New thing. So you
Yes,
please.
sir, I'm telling it. Okay. So actually, it's depending on it uses Python. So in Python, we use to define a function, we use def. So suppose I want to define a function, so I need to type def, and then function name, whatever you want to give. So suppose want to give my function name fun. and then the number of argument, right? So suppose I want to create a function which tell me whether my number is even or odd. Okay, so I'm actually writing even. Okay, and it will ask for one value obviously, so I will just give one argument, so I am just writing it as a. Okay, and after that you have to put semicolon and then enter, and then write the content which you write the value which you want to return your function. So in this case, suppose I want to know whether my number is even or not. So if a modulo 2 equals to 0, so if I divide my number with 2 and if I will get my answer 0, then obviously my number is even. Then I will return even to my function.
So is it colon or semicolon? Colon, right?
Yes, sir, colon. Then return.
So that indent automatically coming?
Yes, sir. Indentation is automatically taken by Python. Actually, indentation is very, very important. And if you know bit about Python, then if you actually de-indent the thing, then it will give you the error actually.
But that is okay. But in the now you are when we are working in Jupyter, so indent automatically coming, right?
Yes, sir.
That is a good, yeah. But else
Like,
also has to come late indent, right?
Right, sir. But sometime it will take the indentation by own, and sometime we have to indent it as per our requirement.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So, like, if and else has to be in a same indentation level.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So, like, it will take now. If I am whenever I press enter, then it will take the indentation automatically. Now, suppose I want to, if my remainder is not 0, then I want to return that my number is not even. So I want to return it false. So just return false. So, right. And in this way we have defined our function, but function only works when we call our function. Right. So if I run this only this number of command, then it will give me nothing actually. So the function only works when I call my function, right? So I have to call my function. So suppose
hello, 1 minute here. Yeah. So actually you given, so it is not, somebody else can define in a new way also, define this same function. So for example, so I can just telling orally. So same function, define def even of a. Now directly I will write a return. Okay. And so a percentile 2 equal to 0. Right. So what it will do? So can you type that again? Can you below next cell पे आप लिख सकते हैं?
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Yeah. So yeah, again same function define, but
okay, sir.
You can write g of.
G of. Okay. Suppose I am providing the arguments, single argument as x.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And I am just returning the value.
Right. So now return
x square plus 1. Okay.
No, not that one. I am saying return. So whatever you written earlier for a percentile 2, right?
Okay, sir.
That you write here. I am saying that. See, can you go little up? What is that you wrote for that one? A percentile 2 equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
That you give here itself. I am telling x percentile 2 0 equal to
sir.
0.
But sir, that is a comparison, sir. You can give your x percentage 2. That will give the remainder 0 or 1.
Yes, sir. If you return a remainder 2, then it will actually give the remainder to the function.
Yeah, so I'm giving equal to 0. Let us see whether what happens. Let us see.
Okay, sir. And now I'm calling my function.
So if you have a doubt, then what we can do in the next cell, another cell. So
Right,
can you type 11 percentile 2 equal to 0? What I will get? Can you try that?
11 percentile 12 2. Okay.
Equal to 0. Another cell. Take
Okay,
another
sir.
cell.
Okay. 11
percentile 2
equals to 0.
Now shift enter. What will it will get?
Can anyone have a guess about it?
Yeah, it's false.
Maybe false.
Right. It actually written the Boolean value true or false because it's an operator.
So now if you type 10 percentile 2, it will give true, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now I'm giving g of x and I take that. Now I'll give g of 3. What will get? Let us see g of 3. So first we need to shift enter that one, that cell. Then that function is, yeah.
Then shift enter.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm saying that you also wrote one way. I'm writing in another way. Same thing, right?
Right, sir. Good at sir.
Yeah.
And thank you for let us know about it.
Yeah.
Right. So.
So Anirban, is it clear now?
Yes, sir. It is.
Now you can write any function you want. So by using previous things, GCD or LCM or those things also we can create. We can utilize later. But sometimes you check that they are already available. Okay. So
Yes.
if they are not available, then only we'll define them.
Yeah,
so
main thing is we have to define the function using def and then function name, and then in a round bracket provide the argument and use and using return actually return that particular value to our function. And after that we have to call our function just by using function name and then argument value.
And other thing is that instead of g of x, you can write even of x, so that in future, so you are in your mind you are already clear with. Otherwise, you will get confused, and you will also use g some other place. So even of x may be better. Okay, yeah, that way we can work out things. Yeah, so just some ideas. Yeah, so we'll Rekha, you can stop here. You can come back later if time permits.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And thank you guys. Thank you for your support. And if you have any doubt, then please let us know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so anyhow, see, we are meeting in the next week, and so all the Sundays, so we'll completely exhaust as much as possible. So today we are just giving you various things. Yeah, I hope in the last session many of you will do. I hope. Let us see that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to do one particular thing, little fast now, so that you will see that how to work. So that is related to plotting, 2D plotting, 3D plotting. Right. Sujit, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Also, I would want to thank Rekha for introducing us how to work with Python, SageMath, and so I think now we are familiar how to deal some things. There is one thing I would want to first say. If you're working with any project and leave it for some time, your project will be stopped because this is an online thing and many other projects, many people will be using it. So you need to remember to start your project. So you need to click Start Project, and only then you can work with it. And I will also advise you, if the Start Project is taking time to load, just refresh your page, it will automatically start. So you need to remember just these two things. And yeah, so let's just begin with how to plot few things. So I think Anirban asked how to define functions. If you have normal functions like the predefined functions, and if you want to use it like sine, cos, or just the polynomial functions, you can also define it like this: fx is equal to sine x, and x is a predefined variable, so you need not define any variable here. That is the first thing. So let's just start running this thing. Also, I need to just reset the outputs for a minute. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just defining fx is equal to sine x here, and I have written the next command as f dot plot minus pi to pi. Can anyone just say me what will be the output here?
The graph of sine x in the interval minus pi to pi.
Yes, perfect. So let me just run this. So this is a graph that you get. You can also give the same command using plot f. Yeah, I just wanted to increase the size. So plot f x minus pi to pi. So you get the same output. Yeah, is someone asking me?
Yeah, what is the difference between these two?
So I think Rekha introduced two kinds of writing, right? So you can either define a dot digit or digits of a. So it's just that sometimes you define the function and you want to do this f dot and whatever is available. So you press tab and you look at it and you get plot somewhere here. So I press P, you can see I have plot. And sometimes you would want to just write plot of whatever function you want, and so you can use plot of the function and give the range. It's almost the same.
So can we ask them to do it once so that?
Yes. Yeah.
So we request all of you do once so that now we are going little fast now. At least this initial one, if you do it, then it will be easy for you later. So this is the most. This is going to you will going to enjoy the most. In future you become a teacher, then so this is very useful thing. So to explain to the students, online available, only internet connection is required. Another aspect is that Sage Math even can work in your mobile also. So even when sometime you want to check something, then in the mobile you can check all these things. So once you done it, please please raise your hand.
Sir?
Yeah, please.
Can we restrict the domain? Like, should it have to be an interval?
Yes.
We are coming to that. We are coming to that. Yes, surely we'll do those things. Yeah.
Okay,
so only five people only done it. We request you to go to use this f of x equal to sine x. Simple. Then afterwards plot minus pi to pi. Yeah, now we can go ahead.
Yeah. So I hope you have plotted sine x. Another thing is you need not even give the range. You can just put plot of f and run it, and automatically Sage will take one of the range and give you the output. It has taken -1 to 1, and this is a sine x from -1 to 1. So most of the time you don't want the automatic range. That's why we use the range what we want, and we give the domain of minus pi to pi or 0 to pi and so on. So yes, that is how you do this. And also you would want to maybe plot not just one graph, one function, or many functions in the same graph sheet. That also can be done in Sage. So how do you do that is you define other two functions, g and h. I have defined cos x and 2x. And I'm giving a list here, plot. Yes?
Yeah, I just want to say something. Can you put something in this function? Like if I want to find f of x.
Yes, yes. So as I've defined sin x here, I can also ask for f of pi and run it. It'll give me the value of the.
If you type some natural number.
Yeah, sure. F of 2. Yeah.
So here it is giving me sine 2. If I want the numeric value.
I think n dot. There's an error with this.
I think just put n after this dot n.
Yeah. And bracket. Bracket to it.
Yeah. So yeah. So if you want any numerical expression, I think this is the command. So f of this is a sine 2. I'm asking for it, and dot n of bound it with the brackets. You will get the numerical value of any expression you are looking for.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani. So going for multiple plots, this would be the command. I've already defined f. I've defined gh here. So plot, give it in a list fgh, and give a common range from -4 to 4, say. And if I run this, you can see all of the graphs together.
Let them run actually. This you can show it further. Yeah. So f of x already you plotted. You already took g of x is cos x and h of x equal to 2 power x. So at least you need to type this carefully. Plot open bracket closed bracket fgh comma x comma -4 comma 4 and again open bracket at the end. Okay.
So plot is bounded with the brackets and list is given fgh as in square brackets, comma the range in square brackets x -4 to 4.
So it is like a Mathematica code. There also they will give x and -4 comma 4. Okay.
Deva, do you have some questions?
Which one?
I think the
Deva people are raising. No, actually, so all of you please not raise your lower your hand first. Request that all of you, Joel and Anirban also, lower your hand first. Lower your hand, all of you. So now anyone has any question? Yeah, please raise now. If you have some question, yeah. So Samhita has some question. Good. Deva here has question. Very good. Yeah, Samhita, go ahead. First, what is your question?
Yes, sir. So when we are doing this multiple plots, and then we are putting the range and x in square brackets, right?
Yes.
We can even put it in round brackets. Like, can we do that, or that's not allowed?
I think it's possible because I've used the round brackets here earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, that is possible.
Oh, all right, sir. And then what about the functions? Can those be put in round brackets as well?
Let me try. Yes, no problem. I think this is because Sage is working, it's taking the list as the same, the square or round brackets. Some of the programming languages requires exact brackets. This has no issues.
All right, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Deva.
Yes, sir. So to find the exact value of sine 2, we had used n, right?
Yes. Dot n.
Yeah. If we have a function, say n of x or something, won't that interfere with it?
No, that does not interfere. Actually, this dot n, that is automatically inbuilt function.
Yeah.
It is not a problem, but whenever you have, so that's why there is a dot also before that.
No, what you are saying, n inside if we put an argument to n.
So we'll try it actually. So can you define something n of x equal to x square?
Yes, sir. One second.
Another
Sir,
cell.
yes.
Yeah, let us see. Let us see what is going to give, whether it allow or not, right? Then n of 2, n of 2. Yeah, shift enter. Shift enter. Yeah. Yeah. So
No, n of 2.5.
yeah, whatever. So now n is already worked as a function, so no problem, right? N of x equal to x square. So Deva, now you ask further.
F of 2 dot n, the same thing.
Yeah, so now it will not. That is this is n of x is different and that dot n is different. It automatically take cares. Yeah. This is not the n of the n of open brackets is automatically it is giving some value. It is a function. Yeah.
Yes.
Or we can do one more thing. Instead of this dot n, we can take 2.0 here, f of 2.0. Then also it will give you the answer.
Yes.
Actually, I would rather put float of f of 2. Does that work here?
But this is easy, right? 2.0 is better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, float also one can utilize. So more and more. But if you are once you know 2.0, it will be beneficial for us in future. Yeah. Okay. Good. Any other questions? Including Deva again.
So if you want to provide some argument to that n, then we can also write digit equals to maybe 2. So it will actually round off that up to the 2 integer or maybe yes digits s. Right, to write digits.
Yeah.
Yours is running very fast. Your browser.
Yes,
Internet connection
internet.
may be good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I think Vipin was saying that Sage takes less time, and how much time it exactly takes is written here. For each command, how much time it is taking. Yeah, so I think now we have learned about multiple plots. But if you see this graph here, my sin and x are not dominating because as we know, the range of sin and x is just 1 to 1. And the 2x1 has gone up. So if I want to just dominate my sin and x, basically I want to change the range also of y. I can give y min and y max. That is y min equal to -1 and y max equal to 1 and just execute it. So yeah, so if you observe, my other outputs were very small, but this output, I have a very big sheet. The graph itself has changed. Can anyone see the difference in the command? Okay, maybe I'll say it.
Vienna, no,
yeah.
Vienna raised hand. Yeah, Vienna, go ahead. You say something.
There's an extra thing. Figure size is equal to 10 something.
Exactly. So here I think the figure size is defaultly taken what should be the whole overall size of the graph sheet. Here I said I wanted a bigger graph, so I put 10 here. So I can even change that to 4 and make it a very small graph like this. So
I want to ask something here. So what about these colors?
So here, if you see the first one, I don't give any color. It automatically took as blue. In the multiple graphs, it automatically assigned colors. So it has assigned 3 different colors for F, G, and H. But I can also give a color, whatever color I want to. So that is the next one. So I have put here color equal to, in quotes, yellow. And we'll see the other commands here. I've also changed the thickness and the line style. And I've put the title of the graph. So if we now run this, you can see all the differences. So the first thing, the color has changed to yellow. I got the title as sine graph here, and the line style has become breaks and dots.
So it's one
can,
more question. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, before that, just wait. So let them try this one.
Yes, sir.
So that they have hands-on experience on this, so that in future they can play with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are giving 1 minute time. Please complete it. Almost 1 minute is very bigger time, but even then, it is because you have to see and it takes time. Yeah, in the Vipin, you want to say something? You say in between.
Yes, I was saying, means I was asking one question.
Yes,
to Suhit, means I want to give. You have given here a title is equal to sine graph. Just I want to know that in above line in a previous command there were 3 graphs. So I want to give separate them each graph. I want to give a name. So that I should give.
Yes, I'll just come back to that in the next function.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, Vienna. So we completed, right?
No, I have a doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
If we did like last time f dot plot and put the range inside, and after that we cannot add color, etc., or we have
Yes.
to use plot and.
I think you can't add color here. I'm not sure, but because I've seen this command, I've not explored much with this. So if you observe, I'm basically using plot command, plot and next thing. I think you can explore if you can add color there.
In the next session, you can tell if you find it something. We'll also try.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So if you completed, please raise your hand. Sangvi, are you completed?
Sir, no, sir.
You
I
have a
doubt.
question. Please ask.
Sir, is there any option to choose a different color and style?
Yes, this is what I've done, right? I've chosen a different color here, and so you want me to change the color here?
Tell your favorite color.
Yeah. Green.
Green, okay.
It's a parrot green. I asked, is there available there?
I don't know if parrot green exactly is available, but green is for sure available.
Okay.
But later I'll show you how to avail other color palette itself and make it close to parrot green.
Okay.
So I'll do green for you now. Yeah.
Yeah, Anirban has some question. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, sir, I've done it. That's why.
Done it. Very good. Deva?
I've also done it, sir.
Okay, very good. So then we can go ahead. Ruby, you have some question?
Sir, I have a doubt. So in the input 23 that we took, we only considered plot of F, right? So for
Yes.
that, we assigned the color green.
Exactly.
Now, suppose if there are multiple plots and I want to assign color for each of them, how do I
Yes.
go about it?
I think you need to use an array here. I think I have done that for line style. I'll explain you how to do it also maybe for color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Divya Devi, you have some question or completed?
No, sir, completed.
Completed. Okay. Yeah, so we can proceed actually. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So as Vipin asked, he wanted to label the graphs. So what I've done is I'm plotting the multiple graphs, but in a different way. So I'm plotting them separately. So I'm first is P is equal to this. P1 is a separate graph and P2 is a separate graph. And for each graph, what I've given is a legend label. So I'm asking it to represent which graph with its name. So I've given x sine 1 by x, and minus x here. And at last I said plot all of them together, p plus p1 plus p2. This is another way to do it instead of the previous command I've shown you. And so you can see the graph here and also the labels here with its colors representing side to it. One wants to see the code. That is how you do it. So here this kind of partially answers Miss Ruby's question that how do you change colors individually. I've done it separately so I can give each color. Yeah. So is this fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Deva, any question?
Yeah, I have a question. In the previous graph, I tried to download the image,
okay,
but I couldn't see the title in the graph.
Oh.
It came without sign. So is that normal or?
I'm not sure because I've not downloaded the image.
Okay.
So let me just check for you. Okay. Yeah, the title is here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Can we move ahead?
Yes.
So this is another way to do it with different line styles. So the same graph of multiple plots, but I wanted different line styles for each graph. So I've taken line style equal to, but this time in an array, the list. So one is dash, one is double dash, and one is dash and dot. So I think this is how you can also experiment with putting color and 3 different colors next to it. So
yeah, so you better wait here.
Yes, sir, and I'll try to do the color.
No, color you can do, but I think with this we can stop also.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It is next class we can continue.
Yeah.
The beginning for a few some 10 to 20 minutes on the plotting itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this command is little easy. You try it actually. All of you type it and try this one. It encompasses everything till now.
Yes. And just to explain the new command that I've used, grid lines, it gives the grid lines of the graph.
That's why it has grids. It has all type of colors, all type of axis, y-axis, and everything.
Yeah.
Devya, do you have any doubt? Yes, ma'am. Sir, can we have the can we save the picture without the axis?
I think you need to put axis equal to false, and it will print a graph with that.
Sir, and one more thing, can we draw picture manually? Like if we want to draw some pictures like star, like that, some graph, can we draw it manually? Like suppose if we want to join the point 0, 0, 0, 1,
yes,
like
yes.
that.
There are options for that. I think you need to know how to plot points and how to plot lines.
Okay.
Maybe you can explore it this week. I have it written here. We will also do it in the next class.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions?
So is it everyone of you tried this command? So please can you raise your hand? The last one will not, I will not ask again. Okay, this is the last one. So I request every one of you do it, this part. Okay, yeah, good. So we will stop today. So I'm just giving another 5 minutes still left, 7 minutes still left to ask some other questions or other feedback, or if you have some other things you want to know, so that we can change our next classes. We go according to that also. So you have some other subjects to want to explore here. We will ready to explore. So luckily with us there is another person, so we will take him into consideration.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I have a doubt.
Mm.
I'm getting this error called, I'm getting a syntax error which says positional argument follows keyword argument. And I'm not able to figure out what's happening over there. Sir?
Yeah.
What exactly did you type?
I actually took 2 functions instead of 3.
Okay.
And I almost did the same thing. But
So, how many colors and how many line styles have you given?
I've given 2 colors and 2 line styles because I've given only 2 functions.
Yes.
And then, yeah, that's it.
It should work with. I'm not sure what exactly is the error, but I can try.
Samita, you can paste your thing in the chat. Okay, we can put here and we'll see.
Yeah, you can do that also, and I've also done exactly the same thing for you.
For your chat will work, right?
So sorry.
Chat box you can use, I'm saying.
Yes, sir. One second.
Others cannot use, they are guests, but you can use. Yeah, in the meantime, others who have any questions, they can tell.
Sir, grid lines stands for what?
Grid lines is this lines that you're getting, right? So in a basic graph sheet, you get these lines if you're drawing a graph.
Okay, sir, right.
Yeah.
Sir, I am actually unable to find the chat option over here.
Okay.
I think you can just send it over to us via mail also later.
Yeah, sure. I'll do it. I'll send it to you soon, sir.
Yeah, sure.
I have your mail ID.
Sure.
Ruby, do you have some doubt?
I just want to know the access thing that was mentioned earlier as a response to someone's question. It's giving me an error. So what exactly do we type? Okay.
I think this, and I'm actually experimenting with this too. Yeah, access, AXES.
Yes. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have a doubt?
No, I'm sorry. I just lowered my hand.
So okay, then we can stop here and we'll continue in the next class.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Still somebody wants to say? So Nanda, just you stay here 1 minute. I will talk to you. Nanda. Okay. Yeah. So you can leave. So any suggestions, anything also you can write to us. And we will upload this video, right? So I am now